What's up, Bargain family? Welcome back to my channel. So today for you guys, I have a come clean with me, and this come clean with me was actually filmed in early August. I started back then and am just getting the video out now, so you're going to see me decorate for fall, and then you're going to see me decorate for Halloween. And so with all of my come clean with me's, I usually just like to update you guys about life or just talk in general, because I feel like if you're just watching footage of me clean and decorate, it could get super boring. So I just kind of update you guys. So I'm going to take this time to update you guys about postpartum, giving birth to Cooper, afterward, how it's been. That makes no sense, giving birth to Cooper after what? No, I mean like how it's been after I gave birth to Cooper. So yeah, our house is way dirtier than it used to be, just because it's hard to keep up with cleaning and also keep up with a newborn. He is our first child, so we're still getting used to things. Things have gotten a lot better, that's for sure, and just kind of figuring out his patterns and what he likes and doesn't like. But it's still a challenge in itself, learning all the new things there are to learn. And since he's growing so much, his interests change, and then it's just a lot. But he's doing really well. I think he was about a month when this footage was filmed right there. Yeah, and now he's really close to 4 months, right? Yeah, I just forget the days. I definitely have mom brain. I used to have like the greatest memory. Let me tell you guys, I remember everything. Every like dumb thing, actually, because I don't remember things I probably should remember, but I remember like every little thing somebody does, or like me even just like walking down the stairs a certain day. Like I can remember just really weird things, but I'm losing all that memory. I definitely got mom brain. The other day I forgot how old I was. I was asking Matt, I'm like, how old am I again? I think it's just really the lack of sleep. Cooper is sleeping better, but me on the other hand, I'll explain a little bit later. So like I said, Cooper's doing super well. No complaints, other than he pooped on me once, and that wasn't fun. And then I got peed on more than a few times, but it is what it is. We're handling it better. Matt's still working from home, which is definitely nice, because I pump and I can have him watch him while I pump. So yeah, he's doing super well. Me, on the other hand, postpartum has been a little bit difficult. I ended up getting something called mom wrist. I told you guys in some other videos, but basically there's a different word for it, but they call it mom wrist because lots of mothers get it after pregnancy because of repetitive motions. You're holding the baby, you're breastfeeding the baby, it's a lot of repetitive motion. I ended up getting mine really shortly after giving birth to Cooper, and apparently like my carpal tunnel that I had experienced and I hurt my wrist prior to giving birth kind of fueled the mother wrist. And basically, in short, something happens with your tendons and they're rubbing against each other and it hurts really bad. And I almost wish that mother wrist, mom wrist was like you broke your wrist and then it just healed itself and you're good to go. That's not exactly what this is. So I ended up getting some steroid shots in my left wrist, and they told me it would take a couple of weeks to several weeks for the steroid shot to work, if it works, because there's no guarantee that it would work. And I'm already almost 3 months out from when I had gotten the steroid shot, and I barely notice a difference. It still hurts a lot. The only thing that makes the pain a little bit more bearable is the brace they gave me. So I wear the brace pretty much all the time. They told me that I want to wear it anytime I'm doing heavy lifting or any motion that hurts my wrist, and pretty much everything hurts it. So even just lifting the blankets up, if I don't have my brace on, it hurts my wrist. Lifting my pants up, any tiny little thing, like I was opening a cap on a bottle and it wasn't even hard to open, and I hurt my wrist so bad. There was a fly on the wall and I tried to put a fly swatter at it, nothing crazy, and I felt like my entire arm and hand were on fire. It's very painful. So I was like reading up on it, and I read that the next step could be physical therapy or surgery depending on how bad it is. And when I had gotten the steroid shot, the doctor was telling me that it could lead to surgery, but I'm nowhere near surgery. So I have to contact him again and see what he says, because every time I've contacted him, he's just like, wait and see if the steroid shot works. So hopefully it's physical therapy next, and that helps, because I really don't want to go with a surgery right now, especially this year, because this year I had like so many physical things happen that I'm just like really stressed out at this point that I don't really want to have surgery this year again. So we will see. Side note, the pretty lady on the couch is my cousin. She came over that day and I was able to clean. The earlier months, any help I could get, I would take, and I would call people and be like, can you please come over and help us? Now it's a little bit better because I know his sleep schedule and we can handle things a little bit better. So I know when I have time to clean or film. But the earlier months, I would just be like calling people, hey, can you come over for a couple hours? I'm really, really sleepy. Usually I would just nap when people come over. This day I was feeling a little better, so I was cleaning. Anyways, back to the mom wrist. Hopefully it gets better. If I have to do physical therapy, hopefully it really gets better, because I just, like I said, I don't really want to go down the surgery route. I'm starting to feel some pain in my right thumb now, and I got a brace, but I don't wear it as often because when I wear both braces, my hands become very immobile because it's just hard to move your hand entirely with the brace on. So I don't wear it as often, but I still put it on nonetheless, especially if I'm like holding Cooper. But I want it to go away so bad because it really limits the way that I hold Cooper. I'm not as comfortable holding him because I can only move my hand around so much so that my hand doesn't hurt. So, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. And then some other stuff that happened postpartum. I ended up finding out I have gallstones. And I found that out because I ended up getting sick. So, I don't know what made me sick. I was pretty convinced it was food poisoning. But my symptom that I had, and this is, everybody gets it, but it was diarrhea, okay? I had some diarrhea and it wasn't normal because I really honestly don't get diarrhea. I don't really have issues like that. I ended up having it and I was like, this is not normal. I had it for like 4 days. I called the doctor and I'm like, something's wrong. I couldn't go see my normal doctor because apparently diarrhea is a symptom of COVID. So I was told I had to go to a red site hospital, which is a hospital that deals with COVID patients or suspected COVID patients. So I had to go to this hospital, and the doctor that I had was just treating me right off the bat like I had COVID. She was like, no, it's probably COVID. It's probably COVID. I'm like, can you at least test my liver and my pancreas? Because that's what I first did a telehealth visit because I couldn't be seen in person. So they told me, go to this red side hospital and tell them that you want your liver and pancreas tested. So I had them tested, and then it came back that I had something elevated with my gallbladder. So I ended up getting some x-rays. Turned out I had gallstones, but the doctor was like, the gallstones wouldn't cause a diarrhea. You probably have COVID. So they did a test, and the next day I found out that I tested negative for COVID. So it really annoyed me. And the doctor had given me Pepto-Bismol. And she, they asked me if I was breastfeeding. They gave me the Pepto-Bismol. I didn't think much of it because I'm thinking like, oh, a doctor knows what they're talking about. They're not going to give me something that I can't take if I'm breastfeeding. So I took it like one day. I only took it one day, and I ended up Googling it because I was like, you know what, let me just look. And then I read that you really don't want to take Pepto-Bismol when you are breastfeeding. A little amount can pass through the baby. So I stopped it entirely, and then I ended up contacting my doctor again after I found out I tested negative for COVID. I told her everything that happened, and she's like, it sounds like you had food poisoning. And the doctor that I had seen at that COVID hospital told me that I probably didn't have food poisoning because nobody else in my family was sick. And I was like, that makes no sense because, how do you know that we all ate the same thing? Like, I could have had something different that my husband didn't have. So my doctor ended up giving me some medicine for food poisoning, and then all of the symptoms that I had went away. And the other symptom that I had other than diarrhea was abdominal cramping, and it was like really, really bad the first day. So it's just like frustrating because this is not the first time this year that I've dealt with a doctor that didn't want to listen to me, and what I thought was wrong ended up being what I thought was wrong versus the doctor trying to play it off like it's nothing. And it's frustrating because I've dealt with this before in the past, but this year because I was pregnant and I had to go to the doctor so many times, doctors don't always know everything, and you need to listen to your body because your body tells you what's wrong. And I knew that I didn't have COVID because Matt and I don't go anywhere. And yeah, on that off chance, maybe I got it at the grocery store or something. It's just, I knew it wasn't that. I thought it was something that I ate. And the first doctor, like I said, just blew it off. Was like, you probably just have COVID. And then my second doctor, or my main doctor, listened to me the second time around. and things got better. So always listen to your body, get a second opinion, get a third opinion if you have to. And I've done that multiple times this year. So then the other thing beside gallstones, my breastfeeding journey has been pretty difficult for me. I get frequent clogged ducts, and when I mean frequent, I get them every other day, and it's just getting worse, it seems. And I don't know, it's because of how much I have to massage my breast. I don't know if I'm like doing damage to my tissues and stuff. And the way I massage, most of it is tapping. That's what I was told to do by the lactation consultant, so I don't damage any tissue or anything. I do massaging, gentle massaging, but I also do like a lot of tapping. But I get clogged ducts a lot, and it sucks. They hurt so much, and it's so disheartening because I feel like I do everything I can to avoid clogged ducts. I take lecithin, which is honestly a miracle worker in itself. It helped me a lot, especially when I first started getting clogged ducts. I do, warm compresses, massaging in the shower, taking the hot shower, dangle breastfeeding, doing castor oil, and using a haka with Epsom salt. Like, I do everything I can to avoid clogged ducts, or when I get them, like, try some of those steps, like so many different things. But it seems like they're just getting worse, and I'm having harder and harder time getting rid of these clogged ducts. So it's just been hard. When Cooper was born, Cooper was a very lazy eater. So first of all, I had to get my milk supply in, and Cooper wouldn't stay on me long enough to get the nipple stimulation that I needed to get my milk supply to come in and then stay. So after feeding Cooper, I would pump, which is very normal for a lot of people. They have to feed and then pump to start getting the milk supply in. But Cooper will sleep until this day. He will sleep like after 10 seconds of feeding him, and he just doesn't want to get back up. He just falls asleep. He's so comfortable. You want to stimulate them to get them to keep feeding, and I'll like stimulate him, touch his head, run my hands around his ears, kind of shake him a little bit, not shake him a lot, but just a little bit, just to wake him up. And he might suck a little longer, and then he falls asleep again. So I was doing this, feeding Cooper and pumping for about a month, until I decided I'm going to exclusively pump, because no matter how hard I tried with Cooper, he would fall asleep. And I'd seen multiple lactation consultants about this, especially this one who I really, really like. And, they all could see Cooper just falls asleep. And at a certain point, if your baby keeps falling asleep, they're doing something that's called a nutritive sucking. So they're not getting the nutrition that they need. So they tell you just stop doing it. Stop breastfeeding if they're doing that. Not stop completely, but like just stop for the time being, because they're not actually getting anything. So I just decided, okay, I'm going to exclusively pump. So I started doing that, and I mean, during this entire time, I just get these clogged ducts, and it just kind of sucks because it hurts. It hurts so much trying to get rid of these ducts. The other week, a couple weeks ago, I ended up getting mastitis, so I was taking antibiotics for it, and it's just like, it sucks. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Don't get me wrong, I'm very, very grateful, and I know I'm very lucky that I can produce milk. I'm not saying that breastfeeding necessarily sucks. I'm talking about the clogged ducts and the pain from them and the mastitis. Like, it's not fun, especially when it happens so much and my breast just swells up and it gets really hard, and then sometimes it's very, very hard to find where the clogged duct is. So you're just kind of like massaging or pressing around trying to find this thing and get it out. So I've spent plenty of nights where I'm just up all night taking my lecithin, massaging my breast, doing the heat compresses to just remove the duct. And it just seems to be getting worse the past, I would say, month, where the ducts are very hard to remove. And I don't know what it is. I actually seen a lactation consultant again for it to make sure I'm pumping right. But it's so painful. My breasts, I swear, they look nothing like they did before. I know that's pretty much everybody during pregnancy though, but like they have taken such a beating. But they are bigger than they used to be, so that's the plus size, because your girl was flat chested before. Itty bitty titty committee president right here. Anyway, so that's what's really been up with me in terms of postpartum. Not too much I could think of other than that, but it hasn't been very fun. I was really hoping that after postpartum I would just go back to normal, but I'm still dealing with some things, but I know it's only temporary, and honestly I would do it all over again, and I would take any ailment if it meant that I got another Cooper at the end of it, because oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with him. And you know what, you guys, here's the thing about me. I was never a big kid person before pregnancy. Like, I didn't ever dislike children, but I was never like, oh my gosh, look at the kid, look at the baby. But now that I have Cooper, any baby that I see, I'm like, oh my god, look at the baby, look at the baby. You might be able to hear him crying in the background, I'm not sure. Matt's taking care of him right now. So yeah, that's what's been going on. Other than that, not too much. I have like I said, been getting better with filming and cleaning now that I know his schedule a little bit better. It is a little bit hard though, trying to film with the brace on my hand. Oh my gosh. Or even if I take it off, it's just like so awkward to film because my hand hurts so much. So I'm like trying to like glue things together, and I feel like I lost like hand control of my left hand. I want to start decorating soon for Christmas actually, and I know that's crazy. We haven't gotten to Thanksgiving, but the thing is, I lost my filming room, and my filming room had all my decorations, and they are now sitting in the garage, and there's no room. So I just want to stick the decorations up so I can make some room in the garage. All this stuff is going to go in the basement, but our basement's currently being done, and we have some people coming to brace our wall, because apparently there was something wrong with the foundation that started happening, and it just started happening. So we're getting some people in to brace it before it gets worse. So everything is out of the basement right now in the garage, and then there's my filming stuff in the garage, and that's where I've been filming. You might be able to hear Cooper crying in the background. I'm gonna go check on him. Matt is one to let Cooper cry a little bit longer because he's like, he'll be okay, and I'm not. I'm like, no, something's wrong. He's still a newborn. I don't know which way is the right way of doing it, but I'm gonna go check on my baby. Okay, I'm back. He was hungry, and Matt was getting some milk, so that's why he was crying. With the clogged ducts, I try to eat better too. The gallbladder I have to, and then with the clogged ducts, I try to eat better so that the fat in my milk, maybe it'll go down a little bit. I know that they say try to avoid heavier fatty foods, greasy foods. That might help. So I've been trying my best, but I just seem to get it. It's just like, I guess I have fatty milk. But like I said, I'm going to go see a lactation consultant again to see what I could do to just really try to stop this, because it's hurting. My breasts are always sore because of how much I have to massage them. I ended up actually burning my skin from rubbing it so much on my breast. It wasn't even from a heat compress or anything. It was just from rubbing it, trying to get a clogged duct out. And it was the duct that I had when I had the mastitis. Okay, if you took a shot every time I said duct or breastfeeding, you are wasted right now. Passed out on the ground somewhere. Yeah, that's all I could think of in terms of what's been going on. So when I decorated for fall, I did lots of neutral colors and buffalo check decor last year. This time around, I decided to add more oranges in it. So having Cooper, that's just the way I've been feeling when it comes to decorating. I want to add a little bit more color to my decor, even though it's not like the most. But I ended up adding what? Who knows what I'm saying? I ended up adding more orange pumpkins into my decor versus last year. After I had decorated for fall, it came time to decorate for Halloween. I decorated for Halloween, honestly, like October 1st. This was my first time I've ever decorated for Halloween in my entire life. With Cooper, it's just like, things are different. I want more colorful decor, and I want to decorate for Halloween. So I ended up just getting a few pieces from Marshall's initially, and then my collection grew quite a bit. I ended up making a lot of Dollar Tree Halloween DIYs. I had a video for it, but all of the DIYs I ended up making, I ended up keeping because they came out so cute. And then I ended up using quite a bit of Dollar Tree products to decorate in general, like their black webbing. You don't see me use it as I'm placing the items down, but after this you will see that I ended up using it. So initially I decorated a certain way for Halloween, but after filming I ended up adding more and more things just because I didn't know where to go with this. It was my first time, like I said, decorating for Halloween, and there was a lot of orange that I was using and a lot of black. And though my furniture and everything is very neutral, the walls are kind of just lighter. They're neutral, but they're like on the light side. So then when I had all this black decor, it looked funny to me. So I just had to make it work, and the Dollar Tree webs ended up bringing everything together for me. Even though I don't know if it's perfect, I just got to figure out how you decorate for Halloween when you have like the decor style that I have and the furniture that I have. Not my shining moment when it comes to decorating. I ended up like making the cutest items for my tier tray too this year. Oh, and you see this little ghost mug? That thing I got for $5 at Target, and it's so cute. So you know how you'll be talking about something and all of a sudden you're getting ads for that thing on Facebook, Instagram, Google, anything ever, YouTube? Well, I was talking about that mug to Matt. I was telling him how cute it was, and then in my Instagram like popular page, I started getting pictures of that mug, and then I found out that that mug is selling out everywhere apparently. So I got lucky that I found it. I ended up getting 2, but the 2 that I got were the only 2 that I saw. So, I can see why it sold out. It's very, very cute. After filming so many times, I have messed with that tier tray because I kept making things with Dollar Tree products that ended up going inside of the tier tray. So I was just messing with the way that it looked, and then I ended up changing it around a lot. If you're wondering where I got these Hocus Pocus images from, I got them from Michael's. And I got them 50% off, so I think the bigger one cost me like $15, and then the smaller one, but it's still on the big side, it has like the Hocus part and like a banner, that cost me $12, I think it was. I really like them, and the pricing on them was really good. And then most of the decorations that I have beside Michael's and stuff that I made, I bought at Target. So that like broom that you see there, I got it for $3 at Target. Most of the pumpkins you see that are on the bigger side were from Target. There was some black trees that I put on top of my credenza. Those were from Target, as well as these little jack-o'-lanterns that light up from Target as well. And then a lot of Dollar Tree stuff too. So like the little holly berry looking things that are purple that I'm sticking inside of this greenery, that's from Dollar Tree. It just depended from the store, but mainly Dollar Tree, Target, and then some item that I bought at Marshall's. And I was like, oh, items from Marshall's. Honestly, it was just that Happy Halloween thing that I got at Marshall's. That was the only thing I got from there. This is how the decor is looking now. You can see the black webbing that I added, which is all from Dollar Tree. I added that really pretty shiny garland you see running through the front. I got that from Hobby Lobby for $7.50. You're going to find it in the Christmas section. It's black and silver. I don't really know anybody who decorates with black and silver for Christmas. I'm sure there's people out there, but I personally don't know those people. I added lots of lights to everything, which I tend to do with every holiday, and the lights I always get from Dollar Tree, it's usually their fairy lights. I just get them and I place them in any area that I can, just because I really like the way that it looks. Like, lights add so much to a space in my opinion. Here's the Hocus Pocus book sitting on top of a tray that's on top of the coffee table. And you can see there's thermometers there. In the beginning, when COVID really started happening, Matt and I were taking our temperatures a lot, trying to make sure we weren't getting sick. So we just had them sitting there. And then it gets convenient with Cooper when he's in the front with us, which is the room that we're mainly in. And we think, oh no, is he too hot? We just go ahead and take his temperature. One of my favorite DIYs that I made this year using Dollar Tree products is that little like bottle you see. It's a bottle of booze, and it just has like these 3 ghosts. I love it so much. Over here above the couch, there are some green and purple lights. Those weren't from Dollar Tree. They were from the Target Bullseye Playground, and they have little skeletons around them. I paid $3 for them. I put them above the couch, and I added more of that Dollar Tree webbing. On the nightstand, there's this little Hocus Pocus sign, and I got that from Target Bullseye Playground for $3. And then the Jack Skellington I got for $14.99 at Walgreens, of all places. If you're facing the main couch, on the right and on the left of it, there is a red light that's projecting on the wall. I ended up getting these little light projectors on Amazon. They cost me, I think, like $12.99 for 2 of them, and they change colors. Now they stay on a single color, but it's only 4 different colors, and red was the only one that looked like Halloween to me. Then there's this one where it keeps switching through colors, so you get like purple and orange, but it keeps changing through the colors, where you get colors that aren't that Halloween like. So you'll get blue and like yellow. It doesn't make sense. So I don't really like that about the lights, that it doesn't just stay on purple or just orange. So I ended up using red instead. That's close enough to Halloween to me. There's Cooper right there swinging on top of his little swing. He's so cute. Oh yeah, I got a new camera, and I really don't know how to film with it. Like, for some reason, the footage I keep sticking inside of the computer is super slow, and I don't know why. I don't know. But I ended up getting a new camera because my other camera broke on me. I told you guys about it. The SD card got stuck, and then the SD card slot broke entirely, so I couldn't film anything. I took it to get fixed, and it was working, but then all of a sudden it doesn't really want to turn on. If I get it on, it says error, but I don't think it has anything to do with the guy who fixed it. My camera started acting funny the past couple of months, and it would say error, but it would still work. And then now it just keeps saying error and won't really turn on. So I don't think it was the guy. I just ended up getting another camera, and like I said, I don't really know how to use it. My plan, after October 31st, early November, I'm just gonna decorate for Christmas. You know, I know there's people out there who aren't a fan of people decorating early for Christmas, but if it's not you and it's not your house, don't get so bent out of shape for it. Like, that's my whole thing. Like, let people do what they want to do. If somebody wants to start decorating for Easter right now, I'd be like, that's weird, but it wouldn't make me mad. It's just like, whatever, it's not my house. I'm gonna go live my life. It doesn't bug me. So you do you, boo, and I'm gonna do me. So I'm gonna decorate early, mainly because I'm just trying to get the stuff out of the garage and just make room, and also because I don't have a filming room anymore. I want to do all these Dollar Tree Christmas DIYs, and usually when I film the shots for them after I make them, I like to put them in shots where it makes sense. So if I film some Christmas DIYs, I want there to be like a Christmassy background, and I don't really have anything like that because I don't have anywhere to really film. So if my house is decorated for Christmas, I will have spots where I could put the things that I made, and then it just looks better in my video instead of it just being like by a white background. So that's it for this come decorate with me, come clean with me, look at the decorations I bought, postpartum update video. It was like a bunch of things in one. I hope you guys are all doing amazing, and as I've been saying, I hope to have more DIYs out for you guys, and I will have a come decorate with me for Christmas. I'll film the way I'm doing it this year. I'm doing a Grinch theme, whereas last year it was more neutral farmhouse, buffalo, check decor. So it's gonna be a little bit different. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, you guys. I will see you. I don't know what I'm saying. Bye.